Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So, Boris Johnson is name dropping Harry, and as we know, Harry and Meghan have had a number of articles written about them lately. So, let's get into it. So, Boris Johnson has a book coming out, and it was reported that in that book there is a line or chapter or whatever it is that he spoke about trying to get Harry to stay in the UK. And we found out about this because his book is being serialized in the Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail, as you know, has this era where they serialize books. I found this out when I read Spare and found out that Elton John had gone to the Daily Mail to serialize a book that he had coming out, and Harry was deeply unhappy that he did it. But he said, in any case, it's his decision and he loves Elton John, so he'll get over it. But back to Boris Johnson. That Boris Johnson that was responsible for Brexit. And Brexit has cost the UK billions of dollars. Yes, that Boris Johnson now has a book coming out. That line that he said about trying to get Harry to stay, I didn't see where he talked about trying to get Meghan and Archie to stay, because it was only Archie then back in January of 2020. So it was not just the palaces that was trying to break up a family, but also the prime minister was trying to break up a family. So this thing ran deep. And this, it's just insidious what they do. So, say Harriet stayed behind, for example, and walked behind a family, William and Kate, that were intact. So, his family was supposed to be broken while their family stayed intact. And so Harry was just supposed to be the servant brother, because what else? Because I don't see any of the non principals that have independent wealth. Everything is tied to William and Charles. Nothing, I don't see any of them independently wealthy. So, whatever, Boris Johnson. Glad you didn't succeed and that failed like your other failures. And when it comes to the articles, we saw that US Weekly spoke to present and former employees of Meghan and Harry. But I think this was mainly about Meghan and said how wonderful it was to work for her. But it struck me when I see a US Weekly article written by Jack Ralston, yes, that Jack Ralston, talking about who these people spoke to. And he had to make these connections about the editor now of the US Weekly used to be the same guy that worked for People magazine when Meghan's five friends had spoken out in defense of her. And I say, so what? But what I find particularly interesting about Jack Ralston doing investigative journalism is that there's no investigative journalism into why someone at the Hollywood Reporter would be reporting on Meghan. Why the squaddies had to find out that this particular person had links to The Sun and to Radar Online and to the Daily Beast and to Tom Sykes and all the merging and all the going arounds that had, but they are digging into everything Harry and Meghan. After Meghan left the UK and said, Kate and William, you can have all the magazines that you want. And people literally are following Meghan to America to abuse her, going to where she lives as if to say, you cannot escape us. We are coming to where you live. How is this not stalking? Meghan keep a low profile, emerge to go do things with her charities, and we don't see her at parties and Hollywood events. And if her friends or employees speak out in her defense, then everybody is targeted and investigated to the upteenth degree. And of course, we saw where Harry was in New York and he went to the events that had to do with the various causes that he supports, the Halo Trust, African Parks, the Diana Award, and he spoke movingly at the Clinton Global Initiative to a standing ovation. And he spoke about the Archwell Foundation's The Parents Network that he and Meghan have for parents that have children that have been lost to social media. And he spoke about how these giants, the social media giants, are targeting children. That was very moving. And of course, he wrapped up his trip to New York by stopping on the Jimmy Fallon show, where he went to, I guess, a haunted passage. So that was fun. And then he takes off to the UK for Well Child. Well Child is supposed to be in 3 days. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by with me today while we briefly touch on all these things that are happening. Please leave your comments below, like, subscribe if you will, and talk to you soon. Bye.